So guys, I walked out of there. I told you on the small camera what happened with my phone when I called that number, the 1-800 number. So obviously the PA goes on when I'm here. Now the bus I want to take is Milner, 132 Milner, 24 minutes. So anyways, since we have 24 minutes, we're going to discuss certain issues here, certain tactics, certain things about how this works, and use those 25 minutes instead of me standing here getting irritated by all these people and smoking 10,000 cigarettes in a row. By the way, the good news, I'll be quitting smoking soon. So hopefully that will give me more strength in order to fight this evil entity that's trying to dominate, not trying to dominate it in the past, and is still dominating my life up to a certain point now. A little bit less than before, not really. Overall, it still has me locked up and in prison. I haven't made contact yet with a real human being in terms of relationship. Okay, so guys, this entity has been around since the leaders of this world started the banking system. In terms of not the banking system that we have today, the way it is now. The same people who pretty much controlled the gold back in the days, a couple of hundred years ago. The same people who not invented, these guys don't invent anything, but got people to invent the motion picture, motion in motion, a picture in motion, you know, everything. So the brainwash realm, they invented it. The money realm, they invented it. That's why they put pigeons everywhere before I go and they feed them. So when I get there, I get pigeon shit on my trail everywhere I go. Pigeons are the nastiest creatures. You don't want to be close to them. There's nothing beautiful about them. They only serve for one purpose. And it proves to you that the people who have experience with pigeons were the ones who were using them back in the days to send mail, messages from one city to another. They used to use pigeons. Those were the people who constructed our world. In the end, this resembles them because most of them do look like shit. Excuse my language. I'm not making fun of the way they look, but they're inbreds. So, now, guys, as you see while I'm telling you these things and recording this video, I'm going to be running away from movement and noise. It's going to follow me or precede me or come around from there, or a bus or people or there or there. Everywhere I go around the station. We're not going to talk about that. I made enough videos about that. What we're going to do today is, it slams on its brakes so I can hear the noise. What we're going to do now is use those 20 from someone's walking on this side so I can see them from the corner of my eye. 180 degrees, remember? So what I'm going to talk about today with you guys is this guy's going to start moving. He's the only one there. His legs, his arms, everything. Look at him. His legs, how he's moving them. Keep looking at him because there's nobody else there to move. He's going to go down, pretend to tie. The laces, they weren't even untied. He untied them, now he has to retie them. Anyways, we don't want to waste our time with this crap. You guys know what my surrounding is contrived of, what it consists of, what it's about, how it's architected. These guys, see how they distract you? I'm trying to tell you guys a story. They can't let me speak. These guys, how they rule us now and how they have their people in terms of their tentacles into our society in everyday life. Normal people that we bump into the bus, normal people that we bump into when we go to the mall, normal people that we bump into when we're eating lunch in a food court. They're sitting around us, kids screaming. Guys, pay attention to those things around you in everyday life. Pay attention to them. And if you really do see screaming and running, if you really do pay attention to them, what will happen is you will realize that they're fake. They're intentionally generated around you. They're not there because they just happen to be there by coincidence. There's a reason for them to be there. The more dangerous you are, as in your genealogy, you don't have to do anything bad because most people that are dangerous to them are good people. That's why you're dangerous to them. If you were bad, they take you from within and you'll be a part of them. You'll be more successful. Women, men out there, if you're experiencing any depression symptoms, if you're experiencing anything that's out of the ordinary, if you're experiencing anything that has to do, see, This one's job is to look at me and see when I look that way and keep pacing back and forth as fast as possible. She's been around me for the last 5 minutes. Every time I go there and come back, I have to see her move. She's coming back again. That's her job. So pay attention to weird things like that. Pacing is very big with them. People pacing around you, making a lot of noise around you. It looks like it's unintentional, but it's intentional. Coughing. Listen to their cough. Does it sound real? Is it dry? Does it feel like it's intentionally generated? Kids, they capitalize on that. Because you can't blame a kid. You can't scream at a kid. You can't tell a kid, shut up. To get them to scream, to cry around you in carts. These are groups of people that are intentionally being sent to be around you, to annoy you. Intentionally. So look again. Every time she's walking with me, back and forth. I walk this way, now she'll turn. Eventually. She'll come back. See, she's coming back. I walk that way, eventually she'll turn and walk this way. She's not pacing by her own. She's following my footsteps. So, all these elements, guys, all of them. Okay? They use them for people that are a threat to them, to annoy them covertly without them knowing, so they feel miserable. They won't be able to function. If a woman has a big heart, wants a real man, they'll send her guys to fuck around with her, give her a complex about men, then she won't be able to accept the right man approaching her. She'll block him off. Vice versa for men and women. If you're a strong, decent, ambitious guy, they will send you this really great, attractive looking woman to sex you for a week straight, then dump you and give you a complex or make you attached to her or whatever. So you start to hate women, or you start to be afraid from approaching women. There's a huge division here being played by these people, by the elites on top, division tactics that are using these toy soldiers on the ground to implement them. Whether it's direct contact with you or whether it's around you, anything. This entity's been around for a long time. It's been doing this for a long time. A lot of people out there that have a bad experience with other people in public, anywhere, in their personal lives, pay attention, because a lot of these people were intentionally sent to do this to you. Do not close up your mind and your heart and make a conclusion, come to conclusions about what you're experiencing, because a lot of these things there's a lot of them now, even more than ever, in your circles, at your job place, in your home, around your home, your neighbors, anything. There is a huge agenda in order to control and keep enslaved and miserable a certain kind of human being, regardless whether it's man or woman. There's a huge effort in that today more than yesterday, because their whole world system now is fragile in terms of information. Information's traveling much faster now, whether it's good or bad. They are trying so hard to keep this information on the wrap. So hard. One wrong, loose information gets out there and gets exploded into the spotlight, they're fucked. It will expose everything. The whole system. Excuse my bad language. I use it sometimes. I get over emotional. It's childish and it's rude. But please, take it in a good way, as at least I'm being honest with you. I'm speaking my heart to you and my knowledge that I've learned the hard way from years and years of being tortured into this bubble. This is where this information is coming out of. That kind of pain, that kind of payment plan that I've paid over all these years. And hopefully you guys can reap the benefits, because I won't. Most likely I won't come out of this prison. So at least humanity can benefit from my enslavement and from my pain for 43 years, if I can't. And no, I'm not doing this out of the goodness of my heart. I'm doing it because I have no choice. If I was let out of this prison to have a good life, I'll be honest with you, I won't help humanity. I will help myself first, because I want to benefit, I want to feel good, I want to have fun. But because I'm forced to do it, I might as well. Since I'm getting squashed and slowly dissipating from the world and more into this bubble, I might as well give back something to the world. At least if I go away and die, I could say I've done something good in my life. Okay, guys? So anyways, they're doing this a lot. There's a huge effort in order to keep the division and keep the strong and good people miserable, divided and miserable. And they're using these groups of people in every society, in every country, almost 99% of the countries, especially advanced countries with technology, to make this happen. All right? Covertly. There are groups of people like this that are sent to pretend they're talking when you pass by them around you, or they're not talking about nothing. Listen to their conversation. It's meaningless. It's about stupid things. The problem is most people don't pay attention to that. Good people. They're wrapped up into their own world because they don't give a shit. There are two kinds of people in this world, guys. People that want to be left alone, and certain people that don't want to leave the other alone. And good people, regardless whether they're men or women, they want to be left alone, concentrate, be wrapped up into their own bubble, nice world, and who cares about the people around them? They don't pay attention to that. But that thing that you're not paying attention to, looks still here pacing, is doing you a lot of harm, guys. Pay attention to it because it's doing you covert harm in ways you can't imagine. It took me a while for me to see this because I was born into it. It was hard. I had to wake up. It was my whole world. Why would I ask any questions? It took me a while, 43 years. So guys, please pay attention to it. And do you guys know how long you're waiting for Milner? You know how long it's gonna be? Yeah, it said like none passed by just now, right? Okay. So anyways, huge efforts are taken today more than yesterday into dividing strong, good people, dividing them and isolating them and beating on them. There are eyes and ears everywhere around you. Believe me, if it was the CIA doing it to you, you'd be lucky. This is worse. This is so covert. It's your next door neighbor. It's the person that you meet at the grocery store that's buying broccoli. Pretends that he's just there doing that, but no, he was sent to go there. They tap your internet, they watch your searches, they see what you're interested in. Guys out there, if you like women that are slim, for example, and they want to target you, they will show you slim women that would just jump into your face all day long and pose to keep you distracted and thinking of that. For women, whatever kind of tactic works on women. Okay? So there's a huge effort out there to do this nowadays. The world is being divided into two. There are people that are enslaved by them, that take the orders from them on their phone. As soon as they tell them something, they have to do it. And us, the ones that are not connected to that entity, don't belong to it, doesn't belong to it, and doesn't even want to belong to it. And if it finds out about it, it will fight it and try to eliminate it because it's doing us a lot of harm in our society, in our circles. Listen as I'm telling you this information, how much they're trying to annoy me, distract me. Listen about all the weird things that are happening around me with people pacing in noise. I'm giving you gold here, diamond, in case I get assassinated, get wrongly accused and go to jail for some stupid crime that I haven't done, because the information I'm giving you is gold. And it's coming from a man who paid for it with 43 years of torture. That's where this information's coming from. We're at a pivotal point in humanity. If not something grave is done, we will all suffer the consequences. AI will control us and we will become slaves. AI will not just control us. The end game of AI, artificial intelligence, is to kill us. We're being slowly eliminated and assassinated by AI. These people taking orders from their phones to come and do this to someone, that's AI doing it to you. Using these vessels to implement its tactics on you, to trick you, for you to think you're surrounded by normal human beings, but they are toy soldiers of AI. That's it, very simple. Why do they do it? They're misled, they're ignorant, and they want the money. Because in the end, they're destroying themselves by doing this to others. They're misled, weak, love for the physical pleasures. Most of them are just ignorant. They're the kind of people that you tell them this is red and this is blue, and in reality it's the opposite. They don't even look, think, or ask questions. Just go, okay, fine. What next? People that don't think. Humanity is full of that. It doesn't make them bad people or useless people. No, they're still human beings like us. They're just weaker. They don't possess the right talent. They don't possess the right qualities in order for them not to be deceived into following that entity and taking its orders and doing its bad work and getting paid for it. Or if it's a guy, they'll give him promises of meeting the best looking woman around that he can get hooked up with. If it's a woman, they'll promise her she'll meet Prince Charming one day, her life would be better, she'll be able to shop for free, get free colognes, vouchers, fix her hair for free at this hairdresser, get free bus pass for the month, whatever. It's very easy to lure the majority of people into something like this, that in the end what they're doing is they're helping an entity destroy the others and themselves. But they don't get it, they don't see it that way. It's called ignorance. To them it's a bliss because they feel good. They're doing so much damage, yet they don't see it. This information is very important. If you guys get it today, I'll be surprised. I was debating whether to talk about this today and to upload it to my channel. I hope I get the chance to upload it to you guys so you could see it. This is the shape of our world today, guys. We live in this situation. We are living these conditions currently in our society, in our surroundings, whether they're work or whether they're social, in a bar, at a meeting, in a concert, a baseball game, you name it. Those elements will be there. You'll find them there. Remember one thing, lots of noise, high-pitched noise, loud noise, all those are not good for you. There are covert elements that will attack your inner tranquility through the ears. And lots of movement will attack your tranquility through your eyes. It will make you miserable. You won't be able to function. You will be negative. Don't listen to the words that are being said around you, even though they're all negative. That's done for a reason. It's intentional. Life ain't miserable. We're not miserable creatures. We're not wrong. We're not killing the planet. There is an entity that has a lot of money, that's employing a lot of people to make us miserable and to kill the planet for them to stay in power. Very small number, group of people that are brutal, satanic. They don't give a shit. They want to stay in power. They will hold on to it no matter what. Even if it's going to cost 8 billion people dying, they don't care. Because that's what they're doing anyways in the process. They're replacing us with machines to do our jobs. We won't have jobs anymore. All right? They're planning to collapse the economy one day and make us all get out on the street and eat each other. They have evil plans for us. And so far in the last 100 years, every single thing they planned, they've made it happen. Because they hold the money, they hold the power. They're playing with us, with our lives, like a movie script. They came up with the script a long time ago, and they are being able to implement every single step of it. If you listen to Huxley or A New Brave World or 1984 or whatever, all these things, how did these people know that today's life was going to be like this? And they predicted it to the T. Exactly. It's because they were in on it, the science. They knew. They were in on it from the inside of the club. They had this information to write about. Because they knew that the people that control the world were planning this, and they have the power and the money to get to it. It's not by coincidence. It's a plan that was implemented from the top to the bottom and has been pretty much accomplished fully. The only thing that's missing right now is digital currency, which is on the way in Bitcoin. They are fooling the world and telling them it's good for you, it's not centralized, it's this, it's that. Maybe it is in the current moment, but that's how these guys introduce everything to us in that fashion. At first, when they introduce it, it's all happy, dandy, and good. And then slowly they switch it from good to bad. They take control of it and they enslave us with it. And by that time, we can't let go of it because we've depended on it. We've eliminated cash and gold and everything. We have no choice but to accept it. All right, guys? So, now, example, cigarettes. They glamorized cigarette smoking in the 20s and 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s. Doctors smoked. Important people smoked. Everybody started to smoke. They got them hooked on it. When they got hooked on it, they started raising the price, and now they're telling them it's bad for you and making them miserable by putting nasty pictures on there. Every time they open the pack to smoke a cigarette, they get depressed. They have to worry about getting cancer. Those are all tactics for you not to enjoy your cigarette and stay miserable. Those are not trying to tell you that they're bad for you. Any dumb idiot, a 2-year-old child, knows that smoking is bad for you. It's common sense. Look what you're putting into your body. All right? I made a small video too. I called it "Please No Smoking" or "Stop Smoking" or something like that. Type it on my channel. I explain everything to you in there. What's behind that tactic? So basically, these guys, how they've enslaved us, it's 4 steps. Enticement and luring somebody into that something that they're not into. Once they're in there, get them addicted to it. Once they're addicted to it, take it away from them, deprive them of it, so they get broken. Once they get broken and deprived of it, keep teasing them with it all day long. Pass it in front of their faces. These are 4 steps to destroy the shit out of someone. Using physical pleasures. Food, sex, materials, cars, houses, physical pleasures. You apply and implement those 4 steps on any of those physical pleasures, you will destroy someone. Nobody can live through that. I don't know how I was able to, for some reason, and get to this point in terms of being whole, strong, thinking straight. It's a miracle. So I'm very happy about the video that I made for you guys. Very informative. This is one of the very few times that I make a video not for myself. I make it for humanity. I'm a selfish guy. I'm just like everyone else. People, not everyone else. I know there's tons of people out there that are way less selfish than me. But I have no choice. I'm not capable of living a normal life. So since I'm being enslaved in this bubble and slowly dissipating and evaporating from the world, I might as well do something for humanity on the way. For you guys to at least, hopefully one day, some people that will see this video, they can benefit from it, even if I can't save the planet, which is not my job, nor I'm willing to do that, nor I want to do that, nor I'm interested in doing that. But at least they can benefit their circles with it. In case, by some miracle, after this huge Holocaust that they're planning to do to us, some of us survive. What else? Let me dive into a small subject here, guys, about religion. Do not fall for that. Do not be hateful towards any other religion or any other, because it's all a hoax. If the Israeli administration against the Arab administration, if what they want to do is get the Jews to hate the Arabs and the Arabs to hate the Jews, or the Muslims or the Christians or whatever. Guys, the New World Order ain't Jewish. It's mixed. It's got everything in it. It's got Christians. It's got Muslims. And none of these guys are what they say they are. If he's Jewish, he's not following the Jewish religion. He's satanic now. If he's Muslim, he's not following the Muslim religion. If he's Christian, he's not following the Christian religion. This whole thing about, Jews rule the world, they control the banking system, whatever. Maybe a lot of them come from that background. A lot of them, not all of them. Maybe a lot of them in Hollywood come from that background, but they're not Jewish anymore. At least they're not acting Jewish. Okay, so please don't be misdirected and fooled and dragged into this. This has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with Jews or, or Christians or Muslims or any of that, or certain ethnicities or certain sects, or men are like this and women are like that. This is a satanic entity that has everything in it, just like we do here in society. Men, women, black, white, Indian, Muslim, Christian, everything. Same thing. But they are doing bad things with negative energy. And using all these differences that we have to use them against us. To divide us. To make us hate each other. To pin us against each other. Republican, Democrat, white, black. They have been using these tactics on us for generations. It's brutal. And we still haven't woken up from it because of the programming. The movies, Hollywood, the media, what we see in our society, what we experience too. Because our experiences are not all genuine. A certain number of people are being put around us to give us a negative idea about life. Even they're willing to send them to have experiences with us in relationships. They're that desperate to stray us away from reality and from what life is really about. They are using these people, paying them a lot of money in order to make someone special, not think good about, women or men or, These are tactics being implemented on anyone and everyone who has anything in him that's special to offer the world, they will use every single tactic to dismantle you and put you in a huge depression or isolate you or get you into drugs or whatever. There are massive efforts and an unlimited amount of money being funded into this. Unlimited billions. Covertly, behind the scenes, through charities, through organizations, through clubs, through... Guys, all this thing that you see on the internet, I'm not here talking bad or, don't take it the wrong way. Look at Amnesty International. Believe me when I tell you, whether the people who work for it or run it know this or not, a lot of money is being funneled through it to do bad things. Even in an organization that's meant to be to fight for human rights. I'm not accusing it of that. I'm not saying it's all bad, but I'm giving you an idea how our world functions. A lot of money, that's how it gets funneled to the bottom for these entities to covertly do the dirty work that they're doing. Otherwise, they won't be able to do it. The face of the world that we see is completely different from the face that's working in the background and doing all these things. A lot of people don't know what's happening back there. At least here, I can tell you from my experiences what I've been through. You see the station emptied from all the buses. The only bus that delayed the most is mine. Look. Why? And it's the most popular one. It's the tactic of making you wait. That's a huge tactic. While you wait, they have their irritants around you to irritate the living fuck out of you. All of them. Waiting. Getting irritated. Provoked. Teased. Bad smells. Disrespect, belittling. Guys, all of it. I will list them for you. These are the elements that their toy soldiers are using to dismantle anyone and everyone that can do something good for the world. Covertly, without them noticing and realizing what's going on. Putting things in front of you that are not attractive, putting things in front of you that are ugly, clogging your mind with things and colors and weird things and garbage on the floor. Believe it or not, most of us think that these things are not important and it's a joke. It is. But they're small things that pile up. If you experience them every day for a year, they do affect you. That's how they're affecting us. They don't need to affect us a lot, only a little bit to demotivate us, to give us a little bit of doubt. Doubt is cancerous. You don't need a big dose of it for you to get paralyzed. All you need is a little tin. And that's one element that they use too. Doubt, worry, fear, you name it. I have their science down to a T because it was used on me brutally for 43 years. And now I woke up from it. And in the last 11, 12 months, I've had the chance to study it all again and run it through my head over and over again to understand exactly what was done to me and what's still being forced on me today. Which won't last long. They either have to take me out or I'm gonna come out of this fucking prison. Noise, implementation, movement, weird thing to be done. Pink in his hand, black wearing. So you're looking at a weird thing that's designed in different colors, applying noise tactics and movement and weird thing. See, these are the distractions. This will distract you more than something normal happening in front of you on a daily basis. Anything weird like that, guys, hairstyles, clothing. If you go back to, this is what is this, Milner? Okay, good. If you go back to the 70s and 60s and 80s, any decade, all the weird hair and all that, and all those weird people doing weird things. Who do you think implemented that? Who do you think started that? Sorry. Who do you think started that? Okay, all it takes is one or two of their people to start it, and then people start to like it, they start to copy it, they start to do it. If you look at the comedy shows like Seinfeld, why do people laugh every 2 seconds in a loud voice and keep clapping? That's annoying. It takes away from the pleasure of laughing and watching what's going on. Now people do it automatically because they've turned it into a habit for us. We're creatures of habit. They introduced us to it, got us used to it, and now it comes out subconsciously and automatically. It's been programmed in our minds. That's mind control tactics. You do the same thing over and 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 over until that person really does it automatically without even thinking. It just comes out. So, hold on, let's ask this guy so we don't go anywhere else. Sorry. I need to get the water jumping. Just take me there? Sure, also. So, even sneezing, there's a way for you to put something in your hand. I don't know, black pepper, and put on your nose. It makes you sneeze, because you can't really generate fake sneezing. You can generate fake coughing, whatever. You know, some people are talented to do it if they don't want to do it or they don't have the need to do it. But sneezing is hard. But you can put something in your hand, put it on your nose, and it makes you sneeze to create noise. Not to say that this guy did it, but you get the point. They have to be able to generate around you interesting things that you're not aware of, for it to annoy you. Because the more you accept your surrounding as a normal surrounding, the more these elements affect you. You're vulnerable, you're unprotected, you're relaxed, you're not thinking of it, you're looking somewhere else. So it goes deep into you. But when you're expecting it and you understand what's being done to you, it doesn't hurt you as much. How do you think I'm in a better shape now than I was 5 years ago? Because now I know what's going on. I can protect myself from it. Psychologically, I can put my guard up in whichever way I decide to do it, or I'm capable of doing it. You have to protect yourself from these elements because they hurt you. Now, when I go out on the street, if I get to a place where it's really busy or a lot of people moving, I look the other way. If there's too much screaming in this ear, I'll move from the seat, go sit at the back. Before, I wasn't doing that. I didn't know what was going on. So I was taking all the abuse without having my guard up. It destroys you. You wake up the next morning with a headache, depressed, miserable, and you don't know why. So those tactics, that's the reason why they work. Because most people are unaware of the damage that they could do to you when they're done over a long period of time, and they're covert. These people are sneaky. Not sneaky, they're trained to apply the science in a way where it doesn't look obvious, it doesn't look fake. But when you pay close attention to it and zoom in on it and listen to what they're talking about, I guarantee you 90% of the conversations you hear on the road or in restaurants or in subways, especially with a loud voice, are meaningless. It's fake, guys. These are the real actors in the world, not in Hollywood. They're around you, in your social circle, sitting in the next table in the restaurant, in the movie theater, coughing the whole time so you don't enjoy the movie. That's not a normal cough. That's done intentionally. So this group of people, they're like irritants hired by this entity to surround anybody and anybody who has any importance in them or any genealogy, any talent that can go up against their order to cap him from the start. Or if they don't notice him from the start, as he's growing, if they do notice him because they have their people everywhere, they will start using these tactics on him to keep him down, for him not to open up his heart and move forward and meet the right woman and be happy and be explosive and do the right work to move humanity to a better condition. Man, woman, whatever, kid, old, same thing, all of it, doesn't matter. It's whatever you possess on the inside that you could implement on the outside to change your surrounding to a better life, to a better, direction. It's that energy that you vibrate, those vibes that you send out. They don't want you there in those circles. So you bring people together, you create unity and happiness and warmth. These are the elements that they want to suck out with the needle from every single social environment where there's people there that could actually do something about the current bad situation that we have in the world. They don't do this to everybody. So the more you're being targeted, it means the more you have to offer the world. So now I'm looking over there. As soon as I look at the white car in the inside, the girl inside grabs the steering wheel, moves it. She puts her head back. She plays with her hair. Why? Why did she have to need to do all that movement when I look over there? And how did she know? So we go back to the premise. Either there's technology surrounding me to connect me to these people, or there's a microchip in my eye. Because it's my eyes that control my environment. I proved it to you in so many videos. All I have to do is look at a place and you start seeing movement there. I move somewhere else, movement will start there. It's either a microchip in my eye or a certain kind of technology being applied from within this bubble that surrounds me, but I think it's a microchip. I had 2 laser eye surgeries, correction surgeries, one in 95, 96, one in 2002. So they could have stuck anything in there any one of those times. What is this, McCowan? Okay, we're almost there. It's gonna take us to Marco. Anyways, because for this to function right, the way it has functioned over the course of my 43, well, not 43, let's say I got it done when I was 20, my eye, the first one in 95, 96. So for the last 20 years, 23 years, Because it's everywhere I look. I have to see movement right away. How would they know I'm looking that way? I don't have to move my head. I just move my eyes. It has to be something in my eye that's a transmitter, and they have to have a receptor on them to receive that when I look that way. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to guess. I'm trying to put two and two together here, put some common sense into it. In the end, I'll never figure it out because I don't know how this technology works. But I've looked up on the internet. They can put a chip in your eye, a nano chip really small, and inject it in there as you do your eye surgery. There's a lot of things that they could do covertly we don't know about. Guys, the technology that we have out there today, they've had it ready 40 and 50 and 60 years ago on the inside of the laboratory before they let it out. They've experimented with it, used it on different people and everything. And then when they made sure 100% that it works, they let it out slowly into society and gradually. These guys are ahead of us maybe 100 years. Whatever they go through, they make sure we get it about 50, 60 years later. So we're not more advanced than them. That way we can't beat them. They're always 10,000 steps ahead of us. It doesn't matter how bright I am. It doesn't matter how tough I am. What I'm up against is an entity that it's very hard for me to beat. It would be unrealistic. Miracles do happen, but I don't know if one will happen in my case. So at least in the meantime, see weird things, weird trucks together, weird colors, whatever, to grab your attention. So you forget about what you're talking about. You forget about your goal, where you want to get to. You don't get the job done. So, now we're at a point where this intrusion into our social circles and daily life has gotten very big, and they're multiplying the number of people on it. The Tom, Dick, and Harry they can get. If they have a member that's got a family, cousins on his mom's side, dad's side, all of them together come up to 80 people, they will tell them, bring them all. That's how desperate they are. Not just because of me here in the city, also because of the worldwide situation, because there's been an awakening. Not because it's by chance or because it's meant to be this way. People, after a while, after long abuse and misdirection and fakeness, if they survive all that and they're strong enough to withstand the pressure and the punches, they will wake up eventually. The people that don't wake up are the ones who can't, committed suicide or got into something that killed them. Those are the ones that don't make it. It's all about strength. It's a strength game. If you're strong enough to withstand all this, you'll get to a point where you'll wake up. Everyone will wake up because you stop putting two and two together. You'll wake up. So there's been a huge awakening worldwide. It's happening every day. A number of people are waking up, and that's a huge threat to their system. The biggest threat to their system is one thing: awakening, because the whole system is based on the premise of brainwash and mind control. That is the strongest element of it. There are other elements, money, whatever, but mind control is the primary element that they have worked on in order to control us with. It's the most powerful one, the most potent one. And if they lose that one, that war, everything will collapse like a house of cards. They won't be able to convince us to take their money, to use their systems, to use their phones, their establishments, believe in them, pay taxes. Nothing will work then, because it's this switch in your brain that you'll switch on from off, and then everything will change overnight. That's their biggest worry. This is why my YouTube channel will never make it, because the people who are doing to us run YouTube. Listen. Now the voice is gonna get louder and the laughing is gonna get louder. And they want me to look at them. So, YouTube, Google, all these platforms. Who do you think controls these platforms? You think, what's his name, Wahlberg? What's his name? Not Wahlberg, the guy who does Facebook. You think he's the guy who runs that whole God knows how many $billion company? This guy eventually becomes a face, guys, a representative, even though that's his money. There are people in his organization, all the people working on the round table, those are the ones making all the decisions. He becomes somewhat of a puppet, even though it was his idea from the beginning, which I doubt too. And those are the only people that will allow to go up that high in life. If you're not in on it with them, they won't allow you to succeed. They will attack you. How? In the ways that I've been telling you today. You have to be in on it with them. 42 Division. You have to be in on it with them. If you're not in on it with them, They can't trust having you succeed and have, billions and billions of dollars. They won't. They won't allow you. They will covertly attack you the way they've attacked me and the way I described to you, Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.
You have a good day.
So, that's how it works, guys. That's how it is. They won't allow you to succeed. That's how the world functions. I'm sorry I got that far to be a smartass here and get into how the world functions, but one thing leads to another, especially when you're surrounded with as many distractions as I am, So, that's the current situation. And me, as a logical human being, knowing the information I know and what I've been through, will show me that these guys will never get off my back. I have to get them off my back in my own intelligent way, slowly and gradually. Where I get to a point where they can't do this to me anymore. That's the only way. They're not gonna decide one day, okay, I leave them alone, that's it. We don't wanna bother this guy anymore. That's impossible. Because when I was nothing, they did it. Imagine now that I'm something, they're gonna do it more. In terms of knowledge, I mean nothing and something. So guys, we're looking for 1530 Markham. I think it's the one on the corner up there. This is it, 1530. Wow. We landed in the devil's den. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you. I'm gonna stop recording. Check out the time on my phone because I have to get somewhere else too. And hopefully, let's see what we can come up with this. See what's happening with my license over here. Let me stop it for a bit. Do you know where the entrance of this building is? On the other side?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, this is my story. I was orphaned, born into this Freemasonic thing, the family. They did this to me my whole life. Last year I woke up and as a result, my YouTube videos. It was an experiment done on me, a brainwash, a mind control experiment that failed because I woke up. It was very unexpected. A lot was put into it, billions. Now I look back at it and trace the events of my life. And now more money is being put into it, bringing in more people to try to keep me imprisoned into it and keep the rope tight on my neck so I can't escape it. From provocations to everything, I keep mentioning it to you guys in every video. Okay, so unfortunately, my life was a nightmare and I woke up and found myself in a bigger one. The reality was a bigger nightmare than the fantasy I was living. So, I don't know. I'm trying my best to accept the terms and do my best to funnel and weave my way through and out of it eventually. I will keep fighting. I'm a fighter. Nobody knows what's going to happen and how it's going to unravel. But as long as you keep that, fight in you, you don't let go of it. Because that's the plan of doing all this to you, is to get you to a overworked, overtired situation point, a point of deterioration in you, inside of you, where you just have no more hope and no more energy to move on, to give up, spiritually, emotionally, before psychologically. If you don't want to talk, you put the phone on. It's very simple. You got to radiate that element of noise, of music. Truck backing up. You see the different tactics of noise that were applied to me since I got here? From that guy banging on the window, the guy with the phone, the teet, 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 the two lights on my face. Look at the lights on my face. The amount of cars passing back and forth. The amount of cars parking and leaving the parking lot. The amount of cars parking in front of me, moving slowly. This is it. Distraction, annoying. 24/7 everywhere I go. It used to be around my house, my apartment. Now they stopped. Because I went after them. Because those are people close to me. I could prove that this person's actually doing this to me. But out here, who am I going to say is doing this to me? Who? Oh, there's a man hiding behind the church over there, the Orthodox, Russian Orthodox Church, and is sending all these people. Who am I going to accuse? Everyone's doing it to me, around me, in my environment. Who can I accuse? Who's sending them? So legally, I can't get them. That's why they keep on putting posters for me everywhere I go. Look for a lawyer, look for a lawyer, 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 lawyer. They're mocking you because you can't get them that way. No, they're gonna talk. So they're giving tiny doses of noise. Keep them under a low level. So that's a sex noise attack, what just passed by. Okay, guys? You're starting to understand how this functions? When you see somebody limping and talking, that's a noise and disability attack. For you to see disabilities all day long, you get depressed. For you to always be reminded of disability and negative things. Not to say anything wrong against disabled people, but a disability to a human being is not a positive thing. In a way, physically, it's negative. So they want to keep on putting these things around you and remind you with them. And the bright fluorescent things of construction everywhere. Another implementation of movement and sex. On and on and on. Okay, let me shut this off now. Go in here and get my job done. Hopefully I can resolve. And I get to the door, they get people to come out. You walk out, they get people to come in. It's all these irritations around you all day long. I walk in here, I hear something bang. You get someone walking towards me. Somebody talks, somebody pushing the button over there, over and over again unnecessarily. You push it once, it opens. You need to keep pushing it. I get this ability to walk out in front of me. I barely walked into the building. I've been attacked with 10,000 weapons already covertly. You see that? All right. Again, the huge truck across the street passed by right now.